Assalamu alaikum. Brothers, fill the gaps. By leave the walls, come close. Yes, bakhair. Yes, bakhair. Fill the gaps, please. भाई ये बच्चे हैं ना, इन बच्चों को अलग कर दो. All these kids, you need to split up, all of you. Sit with your uncles, your dads. By rest of the adults, move forward. By fill the gaps. आसिफ भाई वो फिर वहाँ दम्माल करेंगे. अच्छा चलो माशाल्लाह, आप बेबी सिटिंग करेंगे. अल्लाह आपको जज़ा खैर दे. भाई there's still lots of gaps. Move forward. भाई fill the gaps. भाई it's your dar chawal getting cold, not mine. भाई put your phone away and move forward. भाई साहब करीब आ जाओ, अगर सुनना है मजमे से मिल जाओ भाई. अभी करीब आ जाओ, यहाँ खला है भाई. Come forward, brothers. Come on. You brother, yeah. You with a nice jacket and a nice smile as well, mashallah. Come, brothers. I know why people sit far. They say that, if the bayan's good, I'll stay. Otherwise, I can escape quickly. So, भाई, it's not a tasting session, is it? कि भाई taste करेंगे, अच्छा लगेगा तो खाएंगे. Come on, brothers, fill the gaps. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Nahmaduhu wa nusalli ala rasulil kareem. The unfortunate thing, brothers, is that deen and deeni activities have become a formality for us. Barakat ke taur pe kar lo. It's done. Don't make a fuss, Mauli Sahib. Just do it. And then I say to people that, okay, we can do it like that, but just look at our state. Every single day we have taaleem in the masjid. You know what the taaleem is? The taaleem is a mirror for us. Somebody asked, what is the effort of tabligh? So somebody described it briefly. भाई साहब आप ज़रा आ जाओ. मेरा अत्तर इतना ख़राब तो नहीं है, बदबू तो नहीं आती भाई. चलो भाई. You brother with the green jacket, come on, there's a massive gap in front of you. I can see it. And brother with the yellow, chalo, mashallah. Make it cozy, it's cold outside. Brother. Otherwise people say, man, this guy keeps interrupting his bayan, what can I do? Brother, do you want to stay? If you want to stay, come on. Yeah, mashallah. Jazak, Allah bless you. I don't like interrupting my bayans, but kya karun bhai? So somebody said, what is tabligh? Somebody described it beautifully. They said, there was a mirror lying on the ground and it was upside down. Maulana Ilyas Sahib Rahmatullah came and he flipped it over. That's what tabligh is. Meaning, until we do not engage in the amal of dawat, until we don't go out in the path of Allah, we tend to think, mashallah, Jannat is for us guys. I'm Gujarati, I'm Pakistani, I'm Bangladeshi, I'm Arab. We're definitely going to go to Jannat. MashaAllah, Allah no fazals hai. Hada min fadli Rabbi. I pray Jummah once a week. Yes? I celebrate Eid. And we're happy. So what Tabligh did was it flipped the mirror and it put in front of us the real Muslims. Who are the real Muslims? The superstars. Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam actually used that term that they use nowadays. They use that term, don't they? He's a football star. He's a pop star. He's a film star. Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam used that term more than 1400 years ago for the real stars. He said, Ashabi kan nujum, all of my companions, the men and the women, the young and the old, the sick and the healthy, the rich and the poor, every single one of them is a superstar. Follow any one of them, you'll reach your Jannat. So now we have to look at what did the Sahaba Kiram do to get to where they got to. And then we have to look at ourselves. Why is it that we've heard so many speeches, but still nothing, khali? Why are we still empty? Why is there no amal in my life? Yeah? Why is it that a person becomes a hafiz of Quran? Yeah? Hazrat Maulana Yusuf Mutala Sahib Rahmatullahi used to talk about this. It's one of the issues that people don't address. He said, so many Huffaz-e-Kiram have become Hafiz, they've forgotten the Quran. We need to do something for them. He said it was in their tens of thousands. वालिदैन ने शौक में तो बच्चे को हाफिज बना दिया. But why is it that a girl becomes an alima and she doesn't do niqab? Allahu Akbar. A person becomes an alim, inverted commas. The father is complaining, Maulana Sahib, namaz nahi padta. So we make excuses by jawani ki need hai, Haji Sahib, Allah Ghafur Rahim. Maulana Sahib, tell what karas? Zohar, Asar, Maghrib, Isha, I'm talking about. Allahu Akbar. So this is why, brothers, we have this gathering for us to assess ourselves and to, this mashallah, mashallah, hada min fadli rabbi, we need to get rid of that. Yes, mashallah, alhamdulillah, whatever we have, alhamdulillah, it's from Allah. Wama bikum min ni'matin fa min Allah. Our masjids, our madrasa, our little deendari, alhamdulillah. But we need to think about progressing. And we need to think about how am I going to show my face to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What am I going to say to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Allah ta'ala will say, I put you in England in the 21st century. You were better off in England sitting in Bolton than the king of England was once upon a time. You know that, brothers? 50 years ago, so what year am I talking about? Yeah, 50 years ago, hardly anyone had a hot shower in their house. 100 years ago, nobody had heard of a hot shower. The people who came to England in the 50s and 60s, the elders, they'll tell you that they had to go to public baths. High street baths we had in our area. They had to go there, pay money, take their soap and their towel and their clothes and go and have a bath there. And about that one, they said that the Gorio in charge, he was racist. So when we'd go inside and we'd lather up, pani ban kar deta tha. Yeah? And we had to have a bath in cold water. He'd turn the hot water off. That was it. There was no bath in people's houses. There was no hot shower. Now you have, if you have one of those, what do they call it, the rain shower head, and you have a good boiler, you have to go and bang on the door. Get out, it's my water bill. The son, when your son then opens the door and he comes out, it's like one of those boxes coming out, when they have the mist and everything. He walks out, the mist, the fire alarm's going off. Right? So much luxury. King Henry VIII never had a hot shower. He was the king of this country. He never went to Dubai. He never went to America. Yes, he probably didn't even come to Bolton. He never had paya. Kya mahroomi. Kabhi paya nahi khaya usne. Nihari kabhi nahi khai. He never had pizza. He was the king of the country. You understand what I'm saying? The kings of the past did not live and did not enjoy ni'mats as we have today. We're little nobodies in our houses, but we live better than kings. And then Allah Ta'ala has given us the passport, money, we can go anywhere. When I was in madrasa, right, in markaz, when they used to have the Mahana Mashwara, monthly Mashwara, Hafiz Patel Sahib Rahmatullahi, all the Puranos are there. Hafiz Patel Sahib will be saying, Bhai, we want to send the Jamaat to Mongolia. Who's ready? And people reluctantly getting up. Yeah? And I used to be sitting there thinking, Ya Allah. I was a young kid. Yeah? I used to think, Ya Allah, make me graduate quickly out of madrasa. If I start earning, Ya Allah, I'll go to all these countries. I'll be ready for every taqaza. I'll be ready for 1 year every year. Yeah? Ya Allah, they're going in the path of Allah to a foreign country to spread deen. The akhirat is getting made, the dunya is getting made. Why are people not ready for this? That's what I used to think. But then you come into the world yourself and then you think, inshallah, inshallah. Dunya, alhaakumut takathur hatta zurtumul maqabir. vying with one another for the dunya has made you ghafil, made you forget the akhirat. जी ऐसा लगाया जीने में, मरने को मुसलमान भूल गया. This is our state now. We have forgotten that we're going to die. You hear crazy stories. Somebody is robbed, somebody is, not paid back a debt. Some wife is treating her husband really badly, or vice versa. Zulm, yeah? And you think, Ya Allah, how could he or she do that? Do they not realize that I have to die? I have to stand in front of Allah. 1 penny I've taken off somebody. 1 penny, in exchange I'll have to give 700 maqbool namaz, farz namaz. If I've taken a handspan of zameen of somebody, the earth, 7 layers of earth will be made into a chain and put round that person's, as a yoke around his neck. How can you do something like that? I used to wonder. Then you realize, the ulama tell us, कि भाई मरने को भूल गया, हिसाब किताब को भूल गया, forgotten that one day I do have to die, and I do have to stand in front of Allah. I do have to give an account for my life. That's why when a person forgets that, a person will do anything. But when a person has that yaqeen in his heart, that no way, I have to give an account. Abdullah bin Mubarak, rahmatullah, great scholar, he borrowed a pen from somebody, and then he forgot to return it, and the person returned, and he traveled and everything, and the person, then he realized, oh, this pen, it doesn't belong to me, and he traveled for so many days and weeks just to return that pen to him. And the person said, no, it's maaf. I said, no, wait, it's your pen. But now, we have no fikr for the akhirat because of the weakness of our faith, brothers. So Dawat and Tabligh is about this, that we realize that, one day I am going to die. Doesn't matter how much gymming I do, doesn't matter how many vitamin pills I pop, how much whey powder and all this I take, how much I run. Yesterday I met a person, what's up, 3-4 times a week, 9 miles I run. I said, MashaAllah, MashaAllah. I said, how old are you? 50. I said, MashaAllah. I couldn't do that when I was 40. MashaAllah. I said, listen, take it easy, huh? Nabi Pak Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, A'maru ummati ma bayna sittina wa sab'in. Wa aqalluhum man yajuz dhalik. The average age of my ummah is between 60 and 70 years. Even if you've got good healthcare, NHS, 21st century, good food, vitamins, everything, gymming, bimming, 60, 70 years, average. They say life expectancy is increasing. Yes. I do expect to live to 100. Life expectancy. But life, longevity, actual life, they say before it was between 60 and 70, today it is between 60 and 70. If you check, if you're alive on the morning of Qiyamah, you check, it will still be 60 and 70. Why? Because Nabi Pak Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam told us. So the nutritionists and doctors, the health experts of the world, they say to us, eat well, exercise, look after your health, and you'll live to a ripe old age. Good advice. But the last bit is wrong. Nabi Pak Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said the same thing. Allah Ta'ala said the same thing. Kulu min tayyibati ma razaqnakum. Eat good food, exercise, look after your health, because it's amanat. But the last thing, you'll live to a ripe old age. Nabi Pak Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam didn't say that. He said, but prepare for your death, because it can come to you at any time. So now you and I have to ask ourselves, how much are we preparing for the akhirat, brothers? How much am I doing? On a day-to-day basis. What is my life? Today, unfortunately, forgive me, I'm talking about myself, I'm not talking about you guys. But if you're honest, you'll agree with me. Yehi hamari zindagi ho gayi, Ibrahim bhai. Yeah, this is a khulasa of our life. You look back on 2024, yes? This year that's passed. Look at nowadays they have your phone reminds you itself, innit? Send you photos that you took of the gourmet burger in January. Yeah? Then it sends you back and you say, enjoyed that one. Chalo, let's have another one. Gourmet burger ka joke to suna do na. Probably you've heard it many times from me. Gourmet burger, yeah? You know when gourmet burgers first came out? This is my joke, that's why I shared it. When gourmet burgers first came out, somebody sent me a picture of it about 10, 15 years ago. Yeah? I said, Masab, check this mother out. Yeah? And he said, the caption said, mother of all burgers. Yeah? Massive thing, yeah? So I goes, what's that? So he goes, what's that? It's a gourmet burger. I said, what's a gourmet burger? He said, what's that? Something you got to try it. It's got beef in there, it's got chicken in there, it's got this and that. So I zoomed in, I looked at the price tag. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah, bhai. Forget that. Huh? So then I zoomed in and I saw that it's got a stick going through it, skewer going through it. So I said, bhai, what's the stick for? He said, Masab, it's so big, it's so heavy, that if you don't have the stick in it, it'll topple over, it'll fall over. So I said, brother, you eat too many of them, pretty soon you're going to need a stick to stop you toppling over. Lekin, this is what our nation has become now. And I'm not exaggerating. Forgive me if you find this offensive. But check, masjid mein bhi baatein hoti hai na? Baba log, old people. And the khalas, the masis at home as well. Yeah? And the youngsters and, all of us. This is all it's about. The Baba sitting in the masjid. Oh, Nabu curry house khulu. Huh? New curry house. Have you tried the paya in that place? Oh, forget that, man. Try the paya. Go to Blackburn, that curry house. Unke paya to, oh. Huh? One guy goes, Masa, paya. I said, paya to maine khaya. Lekin nahi, Masa, paya. Paya kya cheez hai? I said, ye jo khaya wo? He goes, no. Paya ye hai na. Paya hamare yahan, paya kisko kehte hai? Ye. Yeah. That's paya. I goes, what do you mean? He goes, yeah, after you eat it, your hand sticks like that. Then you know it's proper paya. It's been cooked like over 24 hours, slow cook and all this sort of stuff. Yes? This all is. Picnic party, ha he. Yeah? Burgers, nihari, pani puri, masala dosa, halim, curry house, outing, dawate. That's all you become. Youngsters group. And when I say this and people say, what's up? Have you infiltrated our group? How do you know? I said, well, yeah, I know how it is. On a group, all the lads. Yeah? Sheikh Abdul Rahim Saab is delivering a bayan. I think we should go. Some person posted it, yeah? Hazrat Maulana Salim Dora Saab, Damat Barakatum, is coming to town. He's bayan, yeah? Poster. So I think we should go. So then the messages come, ding, 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 one after the other, yeah? I'm in. Chalo, okay, chalo, yeah? Now everyone's in. Then next message, then somebody posts the next message. What's the next message, brothers? You're all acting like Sufis, like you don't know. I'll tell you. Then a message comes. Where are we going after that? Where are we going after that? Koi Mai ka lal post hi kar deta hai. Where are we going after that? Even on the Baba's groups, Basika Jamana, yeah? Why? Because itna bada teer mara hai. I've heard a bayan after such a long time, gone to the masjid after such a long time, such an accomplishment. Let's treat ourselves. Where are we going after that? So I say to people, if I was on that group, I'd answer to that. We're going in the path of Allah. Where do you think we're going? Bayan suna hai. What are we going to do now? We're going to go out in the path of Allah. But what does that question mean? Where are we going to go after that? What does that mean? You're too Sufi, you don't know. You know what it means? It means where we're going to eat. Where are we going to eat? Somebody puts on there, no, we just had a meal yesterday, I don't fancy anything. Oh, we'll just go light, we'll go light. Yeah? Forget curry house, yeah, forget restaurant, we'll go light. We'll go steaks on a plate. We'll go for a burger. We'll go for some chicken wing, light. Yeah? We'll just go for a milkshake. Okay, but can we have a bite before that? Okay, let's go chicken wings and all that. Allahu Akbar. Yehi ho raha hai bhai. And we're happy about that as well. Log dengiya marte hai. People brag about how much they ate. Sahaba Kiram, they used to eat to live. Just enough so they survived. Hazrat Maulana Ibrahim Deula Sahab Damat Barakatum says that the Sahaba Kiram jeene ke liye khate the. And we live to eat. They ate just to survive, just to live. And we Now you might think, what's the big deal? What's your problem with food? You don't seem to have a problem with food. Huh? I'm saying, no, there's a mentality, there's a whole culture behind that we've become accustomed to. Khana, pina, outing, ha, he, picnic, holiday, this is all it's become. This is all we dream about, this is all we talk about. This is all the family discussions. This is all the wife wants. This is all the daughters want. And Qabr, Akhirat, Jannat, Jahannam, Allah, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, non-existent in our talks, in our fikr. The whole effort of Dawat and Tabligh is so that we reprogram ourselves. One person who's going out in the path of Allah, the wife came to him, she said, I want to go on a holiday. So he knew that in England you only get 40 days leave. And our elders, they say, go 40 days in the path of Allah. So he knew that if I take her on a holiday, Chilla's gone. And the elders, they say, do 40 days every year. And he also knew that if he says no, then it's going to be trouble in paradise. Roti nahi milegi. Yeah? She's going to give him the cold treatment. Yeah? She's not going to talk to him. One woman went to a wedding. Joke suna deta hu. One woman went to a wedding. So she had a really nice dress on. So the other girls, they saw, I said, Han, that's so nice, Han. That's beautiful. I said, yeah. So where do you get it from? Where do you get it from? She goes, I can't tell you. So one woman, she goes, I saw it. I know where you got it from. I saw it as well. But that was just too expensive. I was afraid to ask my husband. It was just too expensive. How much did it cost you? She goes, not much. It didn't cost me much. 2 days hunger strike, 3 days silent treatment, 3 days of sleeping on the sofa, 1 day of not cooking. That's all it cost me. Meaning, I just forced my husband into it until he gave up and he went and bought the dress for me. So he knew that if he says no to her, there's going to be trouble. So you know what he said? He said, okay, we might go on a holiday. Let me think about it. Let's look at the finances and everything. But he called his kids, he sat them all down. He said, listen, there's a holiday of this dunya. Like Hafiz Patel Sahib Rahmatullah used to say, एक दुनिया की ईद है, एक आखिरत की ईद है. दुनिया की ईद कल बासी हो जाएगी. The Eid of the dunya becomes wahi Eid, isn't it? Basi. And the Eid of Akhirat, Sada Bahar, forever and ever. So he sat them down and he explained to them. He said, listen, we might go on a holiday. Remember we went last year on the holiday. How was it? So one of them goes, I didn't enjoy that. I got diarrhea. Some of them, I didn't like that. It was too hot. Mosquitoes. Yeah? So he said, look, see, this is a holiday of the world. But there's going to be another holiday where we're going to go. And there, it's not just going to be us. Your grandma who's passed away, she's going to be there. Your auntie who's passed away, she's going to be there. And that holiday is going to be never ending. Bhai, phone rakh do Allah ke waste. Oh, bhai. Or leave the masjid, house of Allah, bhai. There will be another holiday where there will be no mosquito, where there will be no diarrhea, where there will be no food poisoning, where there will be no conked out hotels. A holiday where there will be rivers of wine, rivers of milk, rivers of chocolate, lollipop trees. So one time I was talking about Jannah. One guy comes to me and goes, what's up? Where's this riwayat from? Lollipop trees, chocolate rivers. Which hadith is it in? So I said, but it's not in hadith. So he got happy. He thought he got one over me. So I paused a bit and then I said, it's in the Quran. Huh? Where is it in the Quran? وَفِيهَا مَا تَشْتَهِيهِ الْأَنفُسُ وَتَلَذُّ الْأَعْيُنُ. Whatever you desire, Allah Ta'ala will give you. So there will be some chocoholic who says, Ya Allah, I want a river of chocolate. Allah Ta'ala will give him. Some kid will say, Allah, I want lollipop tree. Allah Ta'ala will give. Nothing is impossible in Jannah. So this person, he described Jannah. Nabi Pak Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, when a person will be told to go into Jannah, the red carpet will be put out for him or her. That red carpet will be 40 miles long. And on each side, the angels will be standing and welcoming that person. On that day, we will be superstars. We'll be celebrities. And we will approach the gate of Jannah. In the riwayat, it says that person, when they will look at the gate of Jannah, It will be so beautiful, so embellished that a person will be stood there staring at it and 40 years will pass. Subhanallah to kaho bhai. In Ramzan I do bayan. I'm talking about Jannah, everyone is more latkela. Muh latke hue sabke. He got the face of death on, he's sitting right in front of me. I said, come on man. So Subhanallah, smile at least. Jannat ki baat kar raha hu. Jahannam ki nahi. Talking about Jannat. So one guy goes to me, what's up? Kya muskara hu? Bhook itni gazab ki lagi hai. I'm starving. So then I started saying, bhai, don't think about the kebab. Think about the sawab. Think about the sawab, bhai. Khush ho jao, bhai. Talking about Jannat. Allahu Akbar. One sahabi came, Bedouin, Dehati, Baddu. He came, started asking Nabi Pak about Jannat. Nabi Pak sallallahu alaihi wasallam started describing Jannat. He started getting more and more and more excited until eventually he gave a shriek and he dropped dead. Nabi Pak sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the shock and the anticipation of Jannat has killed this person, this brother of yours. Today we talk about Jannat, muh latke hue. Bhai, rota kyun hai? Rota nahi, mera chehra hi aisa hai. Bhai, hanso bhai, muskurao, tera ghar ki baat kar raha hu main. Yeah, but if I start talking about tail sale, rice half price, economy boost, crypto coin gone up, and then everyone, oh, mashallah, mashallah. This is just a measure for us to tell us, that, bhai, hum to dunyadar ban gaye. We become so saturated in the dunya. That all we see is dunya. One person, he bought a car in Bolton, 60,000 pounds. Yes? So nowadays people advertise it on social media and everything. Put a ribbon around it. Ribbon around the car. Yeah? So somebody, people are talking about it and they say, Masa, this guy got this car. And they got ripped off. They say, Masa, he only paid 60 grand. मैं तो सर खुजा रहा हूँ कि यार मुझे जब गाड़ी लेनी थी किसी ने पूछा मसा आपका बजट क्या है मैं आपको तलाश करके देता हूँ मैंने कहा 1000 पाउंड इब्राहिम भाई वो मुझे देखने लगा कि ये कौन सी दुनिया से आया है तो देखा मौसम मजाक मत करो यार tell me what's your thing I said okay I'll push 2 grand he said मौसम you'll never find a car for 2 grand I said मेरा अल्लाह बहुत बड़ा है मेरा अल्लाह देगा अल्लाह का करना I didn't even see the car somebody went and he found a car. Mashallah, abhi chal rahi hai. Don't put nazar on my car, yeah? Alhamdulillah, I've had it 3 years, and the best thing was, it was from a Maulana, a very good Maulana as well, mashallah. Allah Ta'ala give him barakati. Barakati ghari. When it arrived, 1900 pounds, mashallah. मैंने मैसेज भेजा आपका बुराक मुझे मिल गया है अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह so this guy 60,000 pounds car I'm thinking ya Allah 60,000 so everyone's raving about it दूसरे लोगों के मुंह में पानी आ रहा है so they said mashallah so I said dekh Allah are you alright brothers are you okay you want some water take your jacket off if you're hot I'm almost finished now I hope what time did I start so I said he got ripped off yeah I said about 15 more minutes I said he got ripped off so the person said no Masa what are you talking about these cars they're like 80 grand or more he only paid 60 grand for it only I said no he got ripped off नुकसान उठाया so he goes he's looking at me thinking ये मौली कहाँ क्या जाने गाड़ी क्या है I think so he's trying to tell me नहीं मौली साहब ये तो so I said देखो you're not looking at the full price tag so he said Masa full price tag 60 grand I said no there's another hidden price tag he said what do you mean VAT he paid VAT tax what are you talking about I said no there's another hidden price tag which even the taxman doesn't know about जो लोग बहुत होशियारी से फ़ोन इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं वो भी रख दे भाई those people on the slide using their phones भाई अल्लाह तो देख रहा है it's a house of Allah not my house is it so Allah माफ़ करे so I said there's another hidden price tag that even the taxman does not know about the guy is scratching his head now so Masa which price tag I said how many namaz did he miss to earn the money to buy the car do you not have to take that into account is that a forgotten thing? Is that a fairy tale? Is that not going to happen? Nabi Pak Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, a person who misses one namaz, even if they make it up afterward, qaza bhi kar le. You know the riwayat. He will have to burn in Jahannam for how many millions of years? So I said, how many namaz has he missed to earn the money. And then I said, you know, this person, I grew up with him. He used to come to my house. We used to play together. And in 30, 40 years, I have never seen him in any masjid in Bolton. And if you, agar socho, if you people think, if you're as young as me, you'll know, you'll think back and you think, Allah, yeah, that guy, I went to school with him. We were in madrasa together. Oh, kahan hai? Has he moved to Leicester or London or something? Then you find out, no, he's in Bolton. You've never seen him in the masjid. Jummah namaz, you're in the first saf, he's in the back saf, last minute. And without sunnah, he's out. Is that person not pitiable? Should we not feel sorry for him? I gave dua, I said, mashallah, 60,000, Allah usko istemal karna nasib kare, Allah waparwa nasib kare, alhamdulillah, mashallah. I prayed for him, but I cried for him. The gari, he's not going to take it in the grave, is it? What kind of a life is that? How much is he going to use the car? How much is he going to live? So respected brothers and elders, we have all become dunyadar people. Khab bhi dunya. In our dreams, dunya. Talking dunya. And qabr, akhirat, jannat, jahannam, namaz, durud. I say to people, and this is the honest truth, and if you're honest, you'll admit as well, if you are not going out in Jamaat, yes, and if you are not in a good madrasa, or teaching in a good madrasa, yes, or visiting an alim on a regular basis, if you're not doing these three things, yes, then ask yourself, when was the last time, besides today, when was the last time you heard and you spoke about Allah, qabr, akhirat? Samjhe? A person is not going in Jamaat, not sitting in any talks, no Jummah bayan, no dars or anything like that. When has he heard about Allah? When has he spoken about Allah? Months, years go by. So what's going to happen to the iman? Then the person will become a Romeo, a dil dada, an ashiq of dunya. Then he'll get married to dunya. Hazrat Isa alayhi salam and other people, in a vision they saw dunya. So Isa alayhi salam saw that there's a woman in a beautiful white floral dress, gown. Beautiful. So as he approached, he thought she'll be a nice young dulhan. When she turned around, she was a buddhi. She was a churail, a hag, an old woman. Right? He looked at her and he was repulsed. She had a mustache. She had beard hairs coming out. She wrinkled like a prune. She had a wart. Yes? And she smiled and she had teeth missing. But along with all of that, she had chopar chapper, lali lipstick. She had those windscreen wiper eyelashes stuck on. Yeah? She had mascara, she had lipstick. So he saw her, and it's just a ridiculous, disgusting spectacle, isn't it? So he's like, ugh. He says, who are you? She says, I'm the dunya. So he says, what business do you have of dressing up? Tujhe kya kaam? Tujhe itni buddhi hai? Itni badsurat hai. What business do you have of dressing up? She goes, I'm getting married. She said, I'm about to get married. So Isa alayhi salam and the other people who saw her, they said that who's going to marry you? Disgusting churail, tere saath kaun shaadi karega? So she said, she laughed and she said, I've been married so many times that I've lost count of my husbands. Kitne mere shauhar hue, kitne mere majnoon hue, Romeos hue, lost count of them. Bhai phone rakh do bhai. I've lost count of them. So then the person, Isa alayhi salam, whoever it was, they said, obviously your husbands must have divorced you. Like me, when they got close to you, when they saw your reality, because you know dunya from afar, it looks really nice. When a person is sitting in India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and he's dreaming of England, उस वक्त मैं जन्नत जा रहा हूँ, मैं जन्नत जा रहा हूँ. यहाँ आने के बाद ऐसा वेदर हो ना, फिर पता चलता है ये जन्नत क्या है. और फैक्ट्री में काम करते करते कमर टूट जाती है, फिर पता चलता है वो इंग्लैंड. So from far it looks, wow, subhanallah, subhanallah. But when a person gets close, then he realizes. So he said that, who would marry you? She said, I've lost count of my husbands. And obviously, all your husbands must have left you. She said, not a single one of them divorced me. So what happened to them? Where are they? She said, I took them in, I lured them. Unko lalach dilai, unko phasaya. I entrapped them. Yeah? I stole their hearts. Yeah? I made them my Majnoons, my Romeos. And when they completely fell in love with me, when they were besotted with me, I took them in, I sapped everything out of them, and when they were good for nothing, when they lost their deen and their dunya, then I spew them out and spat them out. And then I went and married someone else. Respected brothers and elders, you know, we see, and we've seen in the world, what happens to people who are crazy for the dunya. This is what happens. Every time we go in Jamaat, every masjid, you find some Baba sitting in the corner, crying his eyes out. When I was young, जब दांत थे तो रोटी नहीं थी, जब रोटी आई तो दांत नहीं है. When I was young and healthy, just dunya, 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 dunya. And now, my family's abandoned me, my kids have taken my money, my wife's thrown me out, he's crying away, his body's good for nothing now. And now he's saying, मुझे भी ले जाओ अल्लाह के रास्ते में. Now it's too late. This is a treachery of the dunya. This is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created the dunya. What did he say to the dunya? Ya dunya ikhdimi man khadamani. O dunya, whoever serves me, you serve him. जो मेरी खिदमत करे, यानी अल्लाह की इबादत में लगे, तू उसके पीछे लग जा. And Nabi Pak sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, जो दुनिया को, जो आखिरत को मकसद बनाएगा, अतत हुद दुनिया वही राग़िमा, दुनिया जलील होकर उसके पास आएगी. And sometimes Allah Ta'ala practically shows that. From our Deobandi ulama, Deoband madrasa, our ulama, Buzurgani Deen who passed away, they were great Allah wale. Read about them. Kaise lo. About one alim, one of our great alims, they said about him that ऐसा मालूम होता है कि सहाबा किराम का काफिला जा रहा था, ये पीछे रह गए. अनवर शाह कश्मीर रहमतुल्लाह कश्मीर के थे. About him they said that it was he had such qualities that it was as if he would be left behind from the caravan of the Sahaba Kiram in this era. And there are so many, even now there are so many alive, ajib qualities. Allah wale, ta'alluq and everything like that. So there's one big buzurg, he was teaching in Deoband. So somebody heard about him, read his kitabs, heard his bayans, and he became a fan. So he said that I want to visit. Brother, put your phone away. यार मस्जिद से उठ के चले जाओ, फिर फोन करके आ जाना भाई. So he went. He said मुझे मिलना है, मुलाकात करने. So this person traveled all the way to Deoband to visit him, and he made inquiries. He said Hazrat Maulana's house, Hazrat Maulana's house. People said that's his house. He went to his house, and the people in the house, they said, oh, he's not here. Oh, where's he gone? He's gone to the barber's to have a haircut. So he said, okay, where's the barber shop? So he went to the barber shop. So in those days, even now in certain places, what they have is you have to take your shoes off outside the shop. So the Maulana was there in the shop, and one or two of his students were with him. And Maulana had taken his shoes off outside, and the students had taken the shoes off. So the person went inside, and he met Maulana, and he kissed his hand, and he said, Maulana, I've heard so much about you. I've come to meet you. I've come all this way to meet you. Maulana, he honored him and did his ikram and everything. And then the person said, make dua for me. Maulana said, I'll make dua for you, definitely. Then he took out, in those days, the currency was gold coins. So he took out bags of gold coins, and he said, Maulana, this is for you. So Maulana Sahib said, no. Hazrat Hafiz Patel Sahib Rahmatullah used to say, Allah ke wali ki kya alamat hai? Allah ki wali ki alamat ye hai, na jama karta hai, na tama karta hai, na mana karta hai. तीन alamat hai. पैसों को जमा नहीं करता, पैसों की लालच नहीं है, he's not greedy for it. और कोई आ जाए तो मना भी नहीं करता. He doesn't मस्साइला फला तनहर. People asking for money, he gives them money. Poor people. So this person, he's offering him gold. He said, no, I don't want it. But the person kept on insisting. Maulana Sahib said, listen, I don't want it, I don't need it. Go into madrasa, deposit it in the madrasa, the kids will eat and they will benefit. So he said, no, I'm going to give separate for them. This chanda is for you. He said, no, I don't want it, I don't want it. The person really insisted, but Maulana Sahib said, I'm not having it. So the person, he was a bit disappointed, but he's leaving. As he left the shop, he saw, these are Maulana shops and Maulana shoes outside the shop. So he got the gold bags and he emptied them in Maulana's shoes. Maulana finished the haircut. He didn't know. Maulana stepped outside and he picked up the shoes according to the sunnah and he shook them and he put them on and all the gold coins fell out. And Maulana didn't even look at them. And Maulana walked on and the students, they're collecting the gold coins. And then when they collected the coins, they ran after him and they said, Maulana, the person put gold in your... So Maulana quoted this hadith, Atathu dunya wa hiya raghima. When you run from the dunya and you serve the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah ta'ala dunya ko zaleel hokar tumhare qadmon mein dal degi. Dunya will run after you. Why? Because Allah ta'ala said to the dunya itself that, O dunya, whoever serves me, you serve him. And the next bit is very scary, brothers. Wastakhdimi man khadamaki. Jo tera dil dada ban jaye. Jo tere piche bhukhe kutte ki tarah दौड़ पड़े, जो तेरा रोमियो बन जाए, जो सुबह शाम तेरे ही लिए कुर्बान कर दे. Whoever becomes crazy for you, wastakhdimi, take work from him, work him hard. Work him hard. That's Allah Ta'ala telling the dunya. And you know, we see it all the time. People, their life is such. My ustad used to tell us, he said, listen, and I've given this example in this masjid before as well. And it's a clear sign, you know, दुनिया में ही इबरत के हर सू नमूने. There are signs around us. दीनदार आदमी की जिंदगी देख लो और दुनियादार की जिंदगी. Maulana Sahib says that when I come for Fajr namaz, this guy is standing on the street corner with their carrier bag, with a little box in there, tiffin in there. Last night salan, lawan, cook, and they're standing on the street corner. Na Fajr pari, na muh doya. And they're going. 5 guys pile into a car off to work. No Fajr, no Durood, no Namaz, no Quran. Maulana Sahib says he goes and he prays Fajr Namaz with Jamaat, or he leads Fajr Namaz. Then he comes home, he wakes the kids up, they all pray Namaz. Then the whole family sits down and has breakfast together. Then he goes and he prays Ishraq Namaz. Then he does his Quran tilawat. Then he goes and drops the kids off at school. Then he comes home. Then he has a cappuccino with the wife. Then he goes to sleep. Tahajjud ke liye uthe the na. Then he goes to sleep. Then he wakes up. Then he has another cup of tea with the wife, with kaman. And then he goes for Zohar Namaz. And he prays Zohar Namaz. Then he comes home and he has taza roti, chicken tikka masala, dar chawal, biryani, और पाया तो भूलना मत है. He has a nice fresh meal with the wife. You understand? I'm not going to go into the whole day. Yeah, ये दीनदार आदमी की जिंदगी. Yeah, even if he's going to work, that dindar person, you know, I used to work in school in Blackburn, and from this area, there was a person who used to work with me in Blackburn. So I used to sometimes pray Fajr Namaz here and then drive to Blackburn, or in the winter sometimes I'd go a bit early, go to a local masjid in Blackburn, and I'd pray Fajr Namaz. Then I'd go to work. So I'm in my room. My room used to be the Zohar Namaz room as well. So you know, this guy used to come from this area. He'd come into Bolton, he'd come into Blackburn, come to my room first thing, he'd grab the musalla and he'd pray namaz. And I'd look up, I'm doing my work, I'd look up, I said, bhai, Fajr time gone, bhai? He said, no, Mausa, I prayed Fajr in Masjid Usman in Bolton. I said, फिर क्या कर रहा है? He said, Mausa, Ishraq की नमाज पढ़ रहा हूँ. I said, Allahu Akbar. He's praying Ishraq. Nabi Pak Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, whoever prays 2 rakats, his whole day will be easy. Other teachers are wondering, how come he has such classroom control that kids obey him? Because he's Ishraq. And another 2 rakats, he gets a sawab of accepted Hajj and Umrah. Allahu Akbar. Yeah? So deendar person's life. And that person, he's gone to work, he's standing in the shop. I asked somebody, कि भाई इतने सारे पापड़ क्यों बेलता है? Why are you making so much effort for dunya? So he goes, Masab, he's never thought about it. Bhai Sahab, why are you working so hard? Why are you working so hard? Why don't you go part-time? I said to somebody, I said, how old are you? He said, 53. And I knew he had properties and everything. I said, Bhai, why don't you retire? He looked at me like I swore at his mom. गाली दी हो जैसे. Masab, कैसी बात करते हैं? I said, why? He said, बस दुआ करो मैं सर्विस करता जाऊं. रिटायरमेंट एज। अकबर इलाहाबादी ने कहा था, मैं क्या बताऊं अहबाब क्या कारनामे कर गए, बीए हुए नौकर बने, पेंशन मिली फिर मर गए। What kind of a life is that? So anyway, Allahu Akbar. So this person now he's standing in the shop, and he gets that food out that his wife's, and it's cold. He doesn't have time to heat it up. But then the customer comes. He doesn't get to eat that as well. So I asked the person, I said, "Bhai, why are you working so hard?" So he goes, "Masab, he never thought about it. 40 years, man, you've been working like a donkey. Why are you doing all this?" He's rich, miles richer than me. So I said, "Bhai, sab, kyun karte hai?" So then he stopped to think. This is why Sheikh al-Hadith Sahab said to us कि तबलीग में निकलने का मेरे नज़दीक सबसे बड़ा फ़ायदा क्या है? सोचने का मौका मिलता है। वो तो उस ज़माने में कहा था, मैं अब ये उसमें एक ज़रा इजाफा कर देता हूँ, सोचने का मौका मिलता है बशर्ते कि मोबाइल फ़ोन अपने साथ न ले जाए। If a person goes out in the path of Allah, doesn't take the mobile phone, he gets an opportunity to sit and think, reflect on his life. Otherwise, a person never thinks. So I asked him, I goes, "Why are you working so hard?" So he's like, huh? I had to ask him 3 times. So he goes, "Masab, gotta eat, Maulana Sahab, पेट के लिए कर रहा हूँ, पेट के लिए. Gotta eat." I said, "What are you talking about, mate? You don't have breakfast in the morning. You jump out of the house and boof. You stand in your shop all day. For your lunch, you have out-of-date crisp because you can't sell them to the customer. And when the customers come, that gets interrupted as well. You come home late, so late at night that your wife's gone to bed, she's tired of waiting. And she's left a post-it on the fridge saying your dinner's in the oven. Or as our English friends, Allah Ta'ala unko hidayat de, wo to likh deti hai, your dinner's in the dog. Kutte ko khila diya. Your dinner's in the dog. Right? So I said, and then you're so tired, you can't be bothered to heat it up. So khare or cornflakes thokta hai. He goes, "Masa, how do you know? Have you been spying on me?" I said, "मुझे मालूम है यार, तुम्हारी ज़िंदगी ऐसी है, ना खाने के ठिकाने, ना सोने के होश, कुछ भी नहीं." The person goes, "Yeah, Masa, you're right, you know. I don't have breakfast." I said, you leave so early, your kids don't get to see you. You come home so late, your kids don't get to see you. What kind of a life is that? इसको फैमिली कहते हैं। हजरत मुफ्ती अहमद खानपुरी दामत बरकातुहू ही सेज, आज मुसलमान के घर होटल बन गए हैं, होटल। अल्लाह अकबर। हमारे ज़माने में क्या था? वालिद साहब आते थे काम पे से, सब बैठ के खाते थे, है ना? क्या मज़े की ज़िंदगी थी। अपने मुल्कों में तो और भी पूरा घर भरा हुआ है, 3 बेटे दादा के साथ रह रहे और माशाल्लाह धमाल तूफान और बच्चे कच्चे सब, क्या मोहब्बतें थी, है? He says today's houses have become like hotels. What happens in a hotel? You're in room number 33. Who's in room 35? You have no idea. You just pass them on the corridor, you do that English smile. That's it. You don't know his name. You don't know what time he comes in. You don't know where he ate, what he ate. He doesn't know anything about you. That's a Muslim house today. Yeah? Wives coming in sometime, husbands coming in another time, sons coming in, television dinners, somebody's having a burger, somebody's having this and that. Na talim, na durud, na sitting together, na eating together. Kya zindagi hai? What's happened to us? We were never like that, brothers. So this person conflicts khata hai. Khane ke hosh nahi. So he goes, "Masab, I do it for to eat." I said, "Yes, what are you talking about?" I said, "You don't even have breakfast. Look at Maulvi Sahib's breakfast. Look at Maulvi Sahib's dar chawal." So he stops and he goes, "Oh yeah, Masab, yeah, you're right. I said, "Go on then, why are you doing it? Why are you working so hard?" So he really has to think, and he goes, Masab, I'm doing it for my kids. Doing it for my kids. I say, "You liar, you're not doing it for your kids. If you love your kids so much, you'd have time for them. They never get to see you." So many times in madrasa, I sit kids down, or in the family, I sit kids down, I talk to them about Jannat, Jahannam, Qabr, Akhirat, Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and I say to them, "Do shukr that I have spoken to you in this manner, and your parents speak to you in this manner on a regular basis. There are people in Bolton, in your class, your same age, their parents have never sat them down and talked to them about Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, about Allah, about Jannat, Jahannam." Ghar vairan ho gaye. So respected brothers and elders, then that person, he goes, "I'm doing it for the kids." I go, "No, you're not. All week your kids don't get to see you, and because you want to make them dunyadar, on the weekend you cut them off for tuition. They don't get to see you. So then he stops and he thinks, I goes, come on then, why are you doing it? Why are you doing it? I don't know. सोचा ही नहीं. चला जा रहा हूँ मैं, ले जा रहा है शौक. राहों की है तलाश, न मंजिल का है पता. कमा रहे हैं, doesn't know why he's doing it, why he's earning, why he's breaking his back. So when I really push them, then he just like, I don't know why I'm doing it. पागलपना यार. Come back man. पार्ट टाइम कर यार, छुट्टी कर ले, चिल्ले में जा, अल्लाह के रास्ते में जा, उलमा के साथ जा, मस्जिद में आ, नमाज पढ़. Because you could go any time. So last year we had this gathering. 1 year has passed. Last year we said, inshallah. Now we reflect on our life. What have we done in 1 year? Is it going to continue like this every year? Inshallah, inshallah, inshallah. And our bank balance is going higher and higher. Kamai and earnings is going higher and higher. And in terms of akhirat, we're losing out and we're going lower and lower. The real price tag, you know that thing I talk about? Real price tag. Think about the things that we have in our life. What price tag is it coming at? What am I sacrificing? One person, he said to me, last thing, one person said to me, he said, Mausab, मैं अपने मुल्क से आया था, when I first came to England, when he didn't have a job, he said, Mausab, Zakaria Masjid, all Zakaria Masjid. He said, Mausab, मेरे पास masjid, I had the key to the masjid. I used to come, I used to open the masjid, I used to pray tahajjud namaz in the masjid with the jinns. He didn't say that, but with the jinns, yeah. And he goes, Mausab, इतना मजा आता था, इतनी मजा होती थी. So I used to cry tahajjud, just me and Allah in the house of Allah. Then I used to open the Quran, the big Quran, and I used to pray Quran, I used to do zikr. Itna maza aata tha. Then the other musallis would come, Imam Sahib would come, then I'd call the iqamat, I'd call the azan first. I was a muazzin of the masjid, I'd call iqamat, then I'd pray fajr behind the Imam Sahib, then everyone would go, I'd sit and do zikr, then after sunrise, I'd pray ishraq namaz, then I'd lock the masjid, and I'd go home, and then I'd have breakfast and go to sleep, then I'd wake up and Zohar namaz. I used to give azan 5 times a day, and I used to spend half my day in the masjid. Kya maze ki zindagi thi. And I used to go out, I used to sit with every jamaat that came, I used to sit in talim, I used to go out in the path of Allah. I used to love it. I said, brother, you can't still do that, you know. Jamaats do still go, you know. अब भी कर सकते हैं भाई साहब. अच्छा, अब भी जमाते जाते हैं. कब गए थे? 40 years ago. Last time he went, 40 years ago. Since then, he's not been. That time he was on one, 40 days, 3 days, everything. Now nothing. What happened? Kaching. Paise aa gaye. He got married to that bride. That dunya. Taken him down. And he himself is admitting that, Mausab, that was a life. This is no life, Mausab. He's admitting himself. So I said, what, you want to die in this state with this horrible life? You can still do it now. Allah ki rahe sab hai khuli. आसार और निशा सब बाकी है. अल्लाह के बंदों ने लेकिन उस राह पे चलना छोड़ दिया. Allah's house is always open. Jamaats are always going. But you need to come get on board. So brothers, बातें तो बहुत है, and I've spoken too long, but we need to really reflect on what cost is my dunya coming at? What's the big deal with me earning all this dunya, having all this thing, when I'm becoming bankrupt in terms of akhirat? When was the last time I spent 3 days? When was the last time I spent 10 days, 40 days? I did something for the sake of Allah. I went into the other towns and took out those people who were in the gutters, in the ghettos, who are forgetting Allah, leaving Islam. Youngsters your age leaving Islam. What am I doing for them? So brothers, keep your intentions. Sorry. Come brothers, 10 days inshallah.
There's a very inviting talk and very informative talk. Maulana has mashallah made sacrifice. Today is their Jor as well. It's their local Jor in their local masjid. But he sacrificed this and he's accepted our invitation and come to our Jor instead. So alhamdulillah, he has given us some insightful talk about how important it is to strive in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The more time we spend, like Maulana said last year, same thing again, the talk took place. So we have to reflect on our lives, that, where are our lives going and what are we doing for the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So regarding this, alhamdulillah, as Maulana mentioned that there'll be, the holidays are coming up, so we have to strive in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and make the most out of this time.
है 10 दिन की जमात बन रही है माशाल्लाह माशाल्लाह अल्लाह ताला accept माशाल्लाह
24th December से इंशाल्लाह
माशाल्लाह
हमारी जमात जाएगी मस्जिद उस्मान से
माशाल्लाह
This
5 days
5 days
माशाल्लाह so
yeah.
give your intention inshallah 5 days
Muhammad Hussain,
mashallah college university school students can go from the 20th 10 days inshallah
Muhammad Hussain 5 days.
if you don't have a full jamaat you're welcome to join us inshallah we've got 2 jamaats for 10 days going masjid Tayyiba masjid has also got 10-day jamaat mashallah
Huzaifa,
come brothers mashallah
on the 24th, yeah, Huzaifa, 5 days inshallah.
no one should be left भाई सब नियत करो
Muhammad Shurek,
पिछले साल ही आए थे ना दस्तखान पे मौलाना मैं आपके साथ बैठा था ना यूसुफ भाई आपके साथ है ना just last year I came here it's been 1 year already so we have to reflect that what did I say at that time inshallah what am I saying now inshallah
Bilal 5 days inshallah. Siraz
mashallah give intentions brothers nobody should be left without any intention brothers
yeah, Hamad,
come brothers mashallah
5 days on the 24th. Hamad,
लिखा है भाई लिखा है दुनिया के चक्कर से निकलने के लिए
Hamad,
दुनिया को डिवोर्स करने के लिए इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि दुनिया के एतबार से हम कंगाल हो जाएंगे अल्लाह दुनिया खूब देंगे इंशाल्लाह like that Maulana he got it in his feet gold coins in his shoes come brothers mashallah Allah Ta'ala Hafiz Sahab Rahmatullah used to say Allah Ta'ala छप्पड़ फाड़ के देंगे Allah Ta'ala will give us plenty of dunya as well you've never seen a Maulana and his kids starving alhamdulillah and Maulana's family is not like ours our family is a modern family the fashionable family हम दो हमारे दो बच्चे दो अच्छे we have a little family Maulana mashallah has got football team with substitutes mashallah and everyone's khate peete Allah Ta'ala is blessing them and any deendar person look at any deendar person Allah Ta'ala has blessed them so Allah Ta'ala will grant us barakat
Umar 5
come brother mashallah mashallah one request by
5 days. Uzair.
ये तश्कील तो चलती रहेगी भाई कीप मेकिंग इंटेंशन लेकिन भाई मेरी आपके से गुजारिश है स्पेशली द उर्दू स्पीकिंग ब्रदर्स ओल्डर ब्रदर्स बिकॉज क्वाइट अ लॉट ऑफ ओल्डर ब्रदर्स हैव देयर फोन्स आउट भाई मेरी गुजारिश है भाई ये अल्लाह का घर है ये अल्लाह का घर है अल्लाह के घर में कभी भी फ़ोन निकालने की गुस्ताखी हमें नहीं करनी चाहिए कल ही किसी ने मुझे आर्टिकल भेजा आप देख सकते कल की आर्टिकल है कि नाइट क्लब्स में ये मोबाइल फ़ोन बैन करने वाले हैं नाइट क्लब्स में शैतान के अड्डों में क्यों इसलिए कि डीजे लोग जो है ना वो कहते हैं कि हम म्यूज़िक प्ले करते हैं तो लोग उसको अप्रिशिएट नहीं करते नाचते ही नहीं वो फ़ोटो लेते रहते हैं तो हमारी नाकदरी होती है शैतान के अड्डों में अब ये सोचो कि हमारे यहाँ उलमा आते हैं इंडिया से पाकिस्तान से बांग्लादेश से साउथ अफ्रीका से दूर दूर से और वो आके अल्लाह की बात करते हैं और वो भी अल्लाह के घर में और हम मोबाइल फ़ोन निकाले तो उनके दिल पे क्या गुजरती होगी और अल्लाह को कितना गुस्सा आता होगा कि मेरी बात हो रही है और ये नेक वक्त ये अपनी बातों में लगा हुआ है कितनी बड़ी गुस्ताखी है भाई इसलिए कहे भाई अगर मोबाइल फ़ोन लाना है मस्जिद में तो उसको ऑफ़ कर दो या अगर बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट मैसेज है तो भाई बाहर चले जाओ फिर आ जाओ लेकिन अल्लाह के घर में अल्लाह के वास्ते भाई हम ऐसे नहीं थे हमारे एशियन लोग जो है ना वो ऐसे नहीं थे वल्लाह ऐसे नहीं थे हमारी मस्जिदों में ये मस्जिद तो नहीं थी उस वक्त तैयबा मस्जिद अपने ज़किया मस्जिद उस ज़माने में यार बहुत पुरानी बात भी नहीं कर रहा हूँ इन आवर मस्जिद इफ़ यू आर एज यंग एज मी आई एम नॉट गोइंग दैट फार बैक एज वेल यू कुड नॉट वॉक इनटू मस्जिद विद जीन्स ऑन इज दैट नॉट राइट इज दैट नॉट ट्रू भाई एल्डर्स हुआ करो वरना लोग सोचेंगे बंडल फेंकता है क्यों अब्दुल्ला भाई ऐसा ही था यू कुड नॉट वॉक इनटू द हाउस ऑफ अल्लाह विद जीन्स ऑन पीपल चक यू आउट यू कुड नॉट वॉक इन विद टी-शर्ट्स पीपल से गधा नालायक कहीं का अल्लाह के घर में इस तरह आता है पीपल चक यू आउट In fact, your mom, your grandma wouldn't let you leave the house like that. Nango ka cha raha, chaddi pe hai, shorts pe hai. Yeah? And it's still like that. It's still like that. But not for the house of Allah, for Buckingham Palace. Buckingham Palace. You know that? People who wear shorts and t-shirt to the masjid, yeah? If they do get invited to Buckingham Palace, do they go like that? No, my man goes and buys or hires a tuxedo. Why? Because I'm going into the royal court. I'm going to meet the king or the queen. But this is the court of Allah, King of Kings. Allahu Akbar. कहाँ चले गए भाई? हमारी मस्जिदों में ऐसा था ही नहीं, कोई टेक लगा कर बैठता नहीं था, कोई दूर नहीं बैठता था हमारी मस्जिदों में। लेकिन क्या हुआ, हमारे पास पैसे आए ना फिर हम सफ़र करने लगे, दूसरे मुल्कों में गए ना, तो हमने देखा कि वो शेख साहब बयान कर रहे हैं, पीछे कहवा पार्टी चल रही है, कोई पैर फैला के बैठा है, कोई कुरान नीचे रख रहा है। तो हमने सोचा कि चलो ये सब चलता है, तो हमारी मस्जिदों में बेअद भी आ गई। रमज़ान में देख लो, लोग टांगे फैला के कुरान पढ़ते हैं, है कि नहीं? टोपी बगैर मस्जिद में आ जाते हैं। ये कहने की बातें हैं भाई। अल्लाह का दरबार बेअद। हाफिज़ साहब रहमतुल्लाह बाज़ दफ़ा आते थे, आधा घंटा उसी पे गुजार देते थे। हाफ एन आवर ऑफ हिज बयान यूज्ड टू बी बेअदब, बेनसीब, बाअदब, बानसीब। I used to think, why is he impressing upon this so much? Because it's this little thing that matters. Why? Because ad-deenu kulluhu adab. Deen is based on adab. You show reverence, respect for the house of Allah, for the path of Allah, for jamaats, for going out in the path of Allah, for Quran, Hadith, for durood, for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allah Ta'ala will make us move forward. So come, show our respect for the path of Allah as well, brothers. Give your intentions. Come on, keep the intentions coming. MashaAllah, Allah accept. Those people who are under the age of 16, you get your dad, MashaAllah ready, yeah? Or go with your uncle, or Mauli Sahab, MashaAllah. लिखा है भाई, MashaAllah. Allah कबूल फरमाए, Allah आपके खानदान को कबूल फरमाए. Come brothers, MashaAllah. So many intentions coming, MashaAllah. Come more. MashaAllah. You just fill the whole page, MashaAllah. You get all the sawab. Starting a new page now. Come brothers, let's fill the next page. Chale bhai, give your intentions. MashaAllah. What's your name, brother? Muhammad, MashaAllah. Allah accept your whole youth for the service of His deen. MashaAllah. Come brothers. You little lads from over there as well. The Mauli Sabs of tomorrow. Oh bhai, Hambro. The Mauli Sabs of tomorrow. You can give your intentions as well, inshallah. That you're going to go in the future, inshallah. Come brothers. Bhai, sab likha hai bhai. Everyone's got some time off. If you can't go 10 days, 5 days, everyone's got some days, 2 days, 3 days. MashaAllah. Allahu Akbar, MashaAllah. If our Imam Sahab, Maulana are going, then us Jahils, we definitely have to go. Bhai, Imam hi jab nikal gaye, to fir Muqtadi ko to jana hi padega na bhai. Chalo, MashaAllah. 10-day Jamaat from Taiba Masjid, MashaAllah. Come brothers. Come on, naan gosh is getting cold. Might be gourmet burgers. Come brothers. जो 5 दिन नहीं दे सकते, 2 days, 3 days, whatever we can give. Everyone can give something in the Christmas holidays. Come brothers, MashaAllah. लिखा है भाई. Nothing to lose. MashaAllah. Allah कबूल फरमाए, Allah ताला आसान फरमाए. MashaAllah.
Yeah, 3 days.
Our deal is with Allah, our transaction with Allah. Nothing to lose, everything to gain. To be the guest of Allah in the house of Allah, in the path of Allah. Allahu Akbar.
All the brothers are requested to make some form of intention. Alhamdulillah, everyone may have some time off.
Come brothers, MashaAllah, before the book closes. MashaAllah.
5 days.
Allah accept.
5 days.
MashaAllah.
Jamil bhai, 5 days, inshallah.
All these brothers who are making intention without your mobile phones, huh?
5 days, yeah. Jamil bhai, 5 days.
Our Jamaat went from Darul Quran 2 years ago. I was with them. Abdul Rahman was the Amir. Many of them first timers. 10-day Jamaat. They were about 17, 18, 19-year-olds. So he gave them targheeb, took everyone's phones off them. In 10 days, by the end of 10 days, every single one of them have delivered a good bayan. You know what good bayan is, isn't it? Not one of those Firaun alayhi salam kind of bayan. Proper solid bayan. Even the musallis, they were stirred, like, MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Yeah? Once or twice, every single one of them did a good bayan. Every single one of them did the morning 6 qualities bayan. Every single one of them did a good adab gasht. And every single one of those youngsters, first timers some of them, gave dawat on the doorstep in umumi gasht. I know Purana Satizat can't do that. And how did they do that? It was just one simple thing. They left their phones, or they handed in their phones, and the Amirs have made effort on them. So if we're really going to benefit, then we have to divorce our phones, brothers. That's one of our big problems now as well. Now it's spoiled our lives. not just in terms of deen, dunya as well. You know, when I'm teaching kids, I look at all the resources available. I'm thinking, Kasamti, apna zamana ma, we used to have one textbook, and we just about scraped the GCSE. I'm thinking if I had all these resources, Kobe, maths, and all this sort of stuff, I would have got a degree at GCSE level. Self-study. I would have zoomed past all my GCSEs. So much online. Past papers and different teachers and everything. And yet people are still failing their GCSEs. Why? Mobile phone, Fortnite. And they're just glued to that. Same thing with deen. When I was a kid, my dad, he bought a kitab, an English book. It was called The First Man. It was a story of Adam alayhi salam. And it had pictures in it and a little bit of writing. We read that book. That was the only book we had, story book in English, Islamic. We read that book so many times. Nowadays, mashallah, we have libraries and libraries of Islamic books and bayans. We never heard an English bayan when we were kids. It was all Urdu. Now there's hundreds of thousands of lectures and everything, but we're still not gaining from them. Why? Because of our mobile phones. So brothers who are going out in the path of Allah, make intention, inshallah, leave your phone at home. It's not a problem, inshallah. Nothing is going to happen, inshallah. In fact, we'll benefit. Come, brothers, anybody else?
Inshallah, elders as well as youngsters.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Allah qabul farmaye. Come on, 1 minute left, brothers. Give your intentions quickly. Inshallah. And those brothers who go out, mashallah, in the Christmas holidays, have been witness in this country for the last 40 odd years. Alhamdulillah, our elders in those days used to have jors. In those days, we used to have crisp afterwards. Chevro and all that, pistas. We'd have a talk and then that was it. But then brothers used to go out in the path of Allah. Whoever spends time in the Christmas holidays well, automatically come January, February, March, April, they automatically go for weekend Jamaat or 3-day Jamaats. Nobody has to tashkil them. And a youngster does that regularly from January to June, July, automatically he gets ready for 40 days. And when he goes for 40 days, he spends his time well, automatically after a few years, he'll go for 4 months. One of our youngsters, 3-4 years ago, he got ready for 40 days. So I was in that Jamaat, so I told him, I said, leave your phone. So mashallah, he left his phone and he spent 40 daes, good 40 days. In that jilla, this youngster, check this out, English boti, British born and bred. You know about us, you know what they say about hum apne mulk jate hain na, when we go to our country, in India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, you know what they say? They say about us, they say, English born and bred hai, British boti hai bhai, sambhal ke rehna, ye to shaitan hote hai. These guys are wild kids, feral kids. That's what they say about us. They got no chance. English boti. This guy, born and bred in England, been to the school system, 16 years old, he stood up because he'd left his phone at home, near the end of his chilla. He stood up and he talked, he was doing a bayan. In the bayan, he mentioned Musab bin Umair radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. And he didn't even tell the whole story. He just mentioned his name. He just started talking about him and he broke down crying. And he just couldn't control himself. So much attachment he had with Musab bin Umair radiyallahu ta'ala. And he got choked up with tears. Luckily for him, I was sitting there because everyone else is just sitting there looking at him. I was there. I quickly got up and I took over. I sat him down and I finished off the bayan. Imagine. So after that, he went for another 40 days, no mobile phone. Then he went for another 40 days, no mobile phone. Then just recently, he went for 4 months, 2 months in Bangladesh, 2 months in Pakistan without his mobile phone. You look at him now, this youngster, you're not even married, you look at him, your iman gets charged just by looking at him, just by hearing him, seeing his namaz. That's how much potential you youngsters have. And that's how beautiful the path of Allah is. So anybody left, brothers? Allah Ta'ala accept all the brothers who made intentions. Any brothers who have not made intentions, too shy to make intentions, inshallah, you know the responsible brother, Asif Bhai, etc. Go to them afterwards, inshallah, give your intention. You still got from now till 24th to give your intention. If agar, after hearing all of this, after hearing me, hearing him, and all the other targheeb that we've heard, if after that the intention is not coming in my heart, then I really need to cry to Allah. Okay, Allah, hundreds of thousands of people are going out in the path of Allah. You know, in this country, for so many decades, Christmas time, you check, no masjid is empty. All the masjids get packed. Some masjids have 2-3 jamaats in them. So many thousands of people are going out in the path of Allah. Ya Allah, why not me? We should cry to Allah and ask Allah Ta'ala for tawfiq. In the meantime, when you're here, if you come back from the path of Allah, if you've not been, many jamaats will be coming here. So when jamaats come, over the Christmas holidays, then sit with them. Yeah? Don't just give them dawat, order, take away, ho gaya. No, sit with them. Yeah? That's a better dawat. That you sit with them, take them for gush, sit in their talim, participate in their amal. Yeah? If there's a weak jamaat, teach them. If it's a strong jamaat, learn from them. Take them to the ulama kiram. Yes? And if you want to give dawat, then give dawat as well. But don't give them takeaway. घर पे से सालन पका के लाओ अल्लाह के वास्ते, हैं वो पकाने का रिवाज ही खत्म हो गया हरुम भाई, घर पे पकाते ही नहीं. We went to Jamaat once and 3 days we had dawats. So I went to the Amisa, I said, Amisa, I've eaten more takeaways in this Jamaat than I've done in the past 10 years. He said, what are you talking about? We've only had like 5. I said, exactly. I don't eat this kachra, bhai. So he goes, okay. I said, listen, if somebody comes to you now with dawat, tell him, we don't want pizzas and burgers. Bring lawan, salan. So he said, okay. So he started telling them. So then the salan started coming. So you know the salan, it was like Castrol GTX, yeah, diesel. Yeah. You can always tell in it, shadi ka khana. So it was that, yeah. Pet kharab kar de aisa. So maze lekar humne to khaya, it's good, but you can't eat that all your life, can you? रोज खाने की चीज़ थोड़ी है, वो जो खाने में पकाते हैं ना, रेस्टोरेंट में पकाते हैं, और पेट का सत्यानाश कर देंगे. So after 2 days of that, I said to Amisa, I said, Allah के वास्ते, tell them कि भाई, if you want to bring food, don't bring it from the takeaway, don't bring it from catering, घर से लाओ भाई. So then they, Amisa would tell them and they say, oh, फिर तो नहीं हो सकता, I can't give you dawat. Why? Because my wife doesn't cook. Ya Allah, it's okay, we'll cook then. ये क्या जिंदगी भाई. So brothers, give dawat to Jamaat, yeah, but nice dawat. And better than that, sit with them, spend time with them, yeah, take them for gush. Everybody will make intention, inshallah. And anybody who's not made intention, inshallah, in the coming days, ask from Allah and give your intention to these brothers. Okay, brothers, inshallah. So, jama karna intention walo ko. So those, after the dua, brothers are requested to proceed for food upstairs. And those brothers who made intention, inshallah, hang around for a while, inshallah. Just collect at the back and we'll make tartib, inshallah. Okay, we've not got any handcuffs or anything, so don't worry. Just sorting the dates and all that out. Okay? Inshallah.
Just one more announcement. Inshallah, next week there's a jor in Blackburn Markaz on Sunday for any brothers that are working in the professional sector. So from Asr Namaz till Isha Salah, there'll be a jor taking place in Blackburn Markaz. So any brothers working in the professional sector are requested to, inshallah, try and attend that jor as well.
Professional Hazrat, teacher है, doctor है, consultant वगैरह, बहुत मुफीद जोड़ होता है. प्रोफेशनल का जोड़ जो होता है ना, माशाल्लाह पूरे लंकाशायर से और हस्ती आती है, दुनिया के एतबार से प्रोफेशनल बड़े अच्छे लोग आते हैं, बहुत कामयाब जोड़ रहता है. सो उसमें पहुंचने की ज़रूर कोशिश करें. बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम. या रब्बी लकल हम्दु कमा यंबगी लिजलाली वजहिक व अज़ीम सुल्तानिक. रब्बना आतिना फिद दुनिया हसना व फिल आखिरति हसनतन व क़िना अज़ाबन्नार. अल्लाहुम्मा हदी अहल हाज़िल हारा वहदी अहल हाज़िहिल क़रिया वहदी अहल हाज़ल बल्द वहदी अहल हाज़ल मस्जिद वहदी हाज़िल हुकूमा वहदी अहल हाज़िद दौला. अल्लाहुम्मा हदिन नास वल जान जमीआ वजअलना सबबन लिमन इहतदा. अल्लाहुम्मा अह्यि दीन कुल्लहु फिल आलमी कुल्लिहि इला यौमिल क़ियामह वस्तअमिलना लिहाज़ा. अल्लाहुम्मा इस्तअमिलना वला तस्तब्दिलना. अल्लाहुम्मा रज़ुक़ना शहादतन फ़ी सबीलिक वजअल मौतना बिबलदि रसूलिक. अल्लाहुम्मा नस्रन कमा नुसिरा मुहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम व नुसिरा अस्हाबुहु. अल्लाहुम्मा तस्बीतन कतस्बीति मूसा. अल्लाहुम्मा अश्फि मरदाना वश्फि मरदल मुस्लिमीन वग़फिर मौताना व मौतल मुस्लिमीन. रब्बना तक़ब्बल मिन्ना इन्नका अंतस समीउल अलीम व तुब अलैना या मौलाना इन्नका अंतत तव्वाबुर रहीम. आमीन 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 बिरहमतिका या अरहमर राहिमीन. Jazakallah. Brothers, inshallah, proceed for food. Don't leave without eating, inshallah. Subhanallah.